Welcome back to the Called and the Challenge, the space where we talk about real calling, leadership, pressure, and purpose. My favorite word. I want to get straight into it today. Your most important leadership role is not your platform, it's your people. You can grow the biggest ministry in your city and still fail in the place that matters most, your home. So today's episode is family over fame, because being known by the world means nothing if you're unknown in your own house. Point number one. Success in public doesn't excuse neglect in private. Let me just say it. It's possible to be faithful to your calling and still fail your family. I've seen it, and maybe you have even lived it. The dad who's always leading others but never present at home. The pastor whose church is thriving but his marriage is starving. The mom who's managing ministry but missing her kids' moments. In 1 Timothy chapter 3, it tells us if a man can't manage his own household, how can he lead God's people? That's not just a checklist for elders, it's a warning for all leaders. And your first ministry is not the church. It's not the church. It's not your audience or your following. Your first ministry is your family. That's something you need to hold very close to you. And when you get to the end of your life, your followers won't be the ones crying at your funeral. Your family will. So let's lead accordingly. Point number two. The pressure to perform can cost you what matters most. You see, friends, we live in a culture that rewards hustle. If you are not consistently producing, you're falling behind. The same mindset has crept into the church as well. More sermons, more events, more videos, more yeses. But what's the cost? We need to reflect on that. Ask yourself, am I building the kingdom while my house is crumbling? Some of us are chasing influence so hard that we are ignoring the people who need us most. You shouldn't have to trade your children's trust to chase your calling. You shouldn't have to sacrifice your spouse to save strangers. If you're too busy for dinner, too tired for conversation, and too distracted to see your kids grow up, something is broken, and it's not God's fault, it's your boundaries. Maybe you're asking me and myself, I'm a lead pastor, I have a family, wife, and 2 boys, so what about me? How do I make it work while producing YouTube or podcast? Well, here it is. I stay up late. That is what I do. I normally am recording and finish between 9 p.m. to 2 a.m., waking up at my normal time to get on it with regular work and being with my family. Now, let's jump in to point number 3. Boundaries are spiritual, not selfish. I want us to kill the lie right now. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you wise. God wants us to steward our yeses, and He wants us to steward our no's. Jesus said no to people. Jesus left crowds to rest and pray. So why do we feel guilty setting limits? Every yes has a cost. When you say yes to everything out there, you're unintentionally saying no to something in here. You don't need to be at every event. You don't need to respond even to every request. You do need, however, time with your spouse, space to connect with your kids, and room to breathe and rest in the presence of God. That's not laziness. That's leadership. Boundaries don't restrict your calling, they protect your legacy. So can I be honest? There was a season where my ministry schedule was full and my family life was dry. I was preaching powerful sermons, but falling asleep during dinner. I was saying yes to people I barely knew and maybe later to the ones who needed me most. And I had to face that hard truth. If I win on the stage but lose at home, I've lost. That moment changed me. I restructured my time. I learned to say no and to better use my schedule. And more than anything, I remembered my family is not a distraction from ministry. They are my ministry. So as I close, let me ask you these 3 questions. What are you chasing? A bigger following? A more successful ministry? Another invitation to preach, lead, or speak? What if the greatest testimony of your life isn't the sermon you preached, but the marriage you protected or the kids you were present for? Fame fades. Algorithms change. But your legacy, that lives in your living room. Choose family over fame. Prioritize home over hustle. And remember, if it costs you your family, it's too expensive. As always, I want to say thank you for joining me today on The Called and The Challenged. If this episode hit home, would you just take 30 seconds to leave a review, like and share, and maybe even subscribe to our YouTube channel as we want to continue to reach the lost and empower the leaders. I'll see you next episode. Stay called, stay grounded, stay present, family over fame, always.